magazines like Kiplinger's and Wallet Hub annually produce lists of the best and worst places to retire. It's clickbait. And of course, I'm 70. I'm going to click on it. I want to find out what the heck's going to go on. So who wouldn't want to know where they can retire in their golden years comfortably and not have the tax man knocking at the door? Now, we don't have music here, but if we did, Carolyn would be cueing the Beatles. I am the tax man, coming on the, maybe she can do that on the video. Anyway, the old line state didn't fare nearly as poorly as it did last year in its rankings, but it still made the bottom 10 all the way down to 5. So according to my friend Clark Kindle, the president of Kindle Capital Management in Rockville and the author of The Middle Class Millionaire, Maryland, it not only has an income tax, but we're also one of the only 7 states that has an estate tax. And from a financial perspective, there are a lot of things to consider. Mike, what's going on here?
Well, I think it's a real situation that we've got to pay attention to. We started our show talking about the budget and why we need, the county executive wants to increase taxes. The reality is, if you look at where the resources and where the revenue in our county, in Montgomery County in particular is, it's with those folks who are actually reaching a point where they can retire someplace else. And so when you start looking at that and creating disincentives to stay and incentives to leave, it really only further exacerbates where we started our discussion. And so I think it points to the county and to the state trying to moderate back to a place that allows people to stay here and age in place, as opposed to looking to go somewhere else because of the tax situation. And I don't think we take that into account near seriously enough. Well,
we've been talking, this show has been going on so long. We remember the millionaire's tax that was imposed and the green flight that occurred afterwards. Mark, Maryland may not tax Social Security, but it does tax IRA income. That's fair game. So is that another disincentive?
Well, it is, but one of the key points to keep, we think in terms of Florida, but look, we also live in a region where other jurisdictions with lower tax rates, i.e. Virginia, Delaware with sales tax, are nearby. And so there are alternatives that people have to live here without having to go very far. And increasingly post-COVID or post the 2017 tax law, we are in a more competitive, among jurisdiction, a more competitive environment where people are voting with their wallets, if you will, and moving someplace where they think they're being treated more fairly.
Well, I won't quote the scandalous quotes that were in the Wallet Hub article, which derided the quality of food in Maryland by calling it just boil water and put a can of tomato soup on it. But we have a real issue, and we got to wrap it up because we're running out of time. It's an interesting topic to talk about, and one that I, of course, am now eminently concerned about. Stay tuned for parting shots.